Hello there. How you guys doing? Happy 1st of November. Uh, the de-demoning process was, well, it was interesting. Um, but I'm mostly de-demoned. Like, there might be some slight stainage on my fingernails, but it's okay. Um, yeah, I'm not entirely sure where I took this picture. I think it was just some old mansion type thing. I don't know if it was used as a university. But it's Victorian-ish, and it is in the UK, so close enough. Um, so you spent $50 on candy and 600 on a costume nobody saw. What sort of costume did you end up picking that cost you 600? Um, yes, of course I had to grind down my horns, but then I just unclipped them from my hair. So they turned out okay. Over the course of the stream, they did kind of droop, but considering they were just attached to my hair, um, yeah, it worked out okay. Because the logistics of attaching that to my head in a way that won't annoy me if I have it on there for long periods of time, as someone who has issues wearing headphones, yeah, so that's how that uh was decided, because like I wanted to try and like not give myself a headache. Um, going to try and get people killed this stream? What? I'm not entirely sure how I would do that in Last Door, because I think, uh, yeah. Oh, you had a 12-hour power outage. Ouch. Well, I guess you can watch the VOD. Uh, I hope everything's okay now, though. That sounds rough, especially since, well, Halloween has been pretty cold in a lot of the world from what I've heard. So, yeah. Hope stuff didn't get too uncomfortable. But yeah, it seems like several places have just had a cold wave. So, yeah. Oh yeah, makes sense that the snowstorms would also cause issues with electricity. Yeah, I think over here a lot of electricity is underground, so it tends not to be out all that much. As in like power outages due to like damage. But you know, of course, sometimes it'll still happen. Just seems more rare. Um, you're getting 37 degrees tomorrow. I am glad to not be over there. Over here, it's like, it's been a very rainy fall, but that's okay. It's nice and cozy. Also fits very well with my startup screen. It hasn't been that, like, stormy, but, I think there's supposed to be a storm hitting the country sometime this week. Anyway, um, yeah, it's been nice and cozy. I do want to eventually go out and see the fall leaves a bit, like go around like on a hiking trip or something. But yeah, for now, weather is kind of saying no. But we'll see. Maybe I'll manage eventually. But yeah, I'm glad that I managed to decostume okay for today. Because let's just say I was quite thorough with painting myself yesterday. I had painted ears. So if there's anything that's difficult to like uh you know, try and like wash with soap, it's the inside of your ear. So it was easier to apply. But it was fun and it was definitely worth it. So anyway, and yeah, it held up okay considering it was water-based paint. So like it didn't have proper like way to seal it in general, but I did my best with what I had, and it was an adventure. And yeah, it was also fun to like have the camera uh effect work with it as well. So basically, I made an effect to like boost the red, and yeah, that's how that worked. So that's why I was so glowing red, because there was paint and then there was effects. So it's definitely fun to be able to combine that. Um, well, outside in the sun, yes. Outside in the rain, I'll just look very silly. So, yeah. You have a coworker who's still a bit blue today. Well, that's the thing. Some Halloween type colors don't come off that well. I've had that experience with fake blood quite a bit. It seems a lot of types of fake blood that are sold for Halloween really stain your skin way more than like body paint. So yeah, I was just covered in body paint. Like I was covered up to like here. And yeah, that washes off just fine. I'm just as pale as ever. So yeah, but meanwhile, fake blood, just, I don't know what they put in that stuff, but it stains everything. So, yeah. It's something you should use with caution. For me, what I tend to do is, like, have stuff underneath to try and get the fake blood off afterwards. Because, oh boy. Anyway, let's start, or continue the game. Whenever I move the window, the audio glitches out. Yeah, it's kind of nice to, like, round off spooky season with this game. It has definitely been fun. So is this just going to show the end of the previous one? Probably. But that's okay. Yeah, adventure continues in episode 3. There we go. Previously on The Lost Door. As a necessary step to understanding the mysterious disappearance of Dr. Wakefield's patient, Jeremiah DeWitt, the doctor and his colleague, Johann Kaufmann, visited the manor of Professor Wright. Years before, Wright had been Kaufmann's mentor in the occult, but since then had been afflicted with a mental condition and could remember nothing. They discovered that Wright's research had been funded by the Playwright, a secret organization led by Alexandre Dupre. While Kaufmann lay in bed due to a sudden illness, Wakefield followed the clues left by the eccentric Professor Wright, leading to the darkness of an underground labyrinth. There was something waiting down there, alive but imprisoned in the cave. In the deepest chamber of the tunnel, Wakefield met the dreadful result of Professor Wright's final experiment, which had been an attempt to cross the Lost Door using fear as the key. Well, it was kind of spooky. Like, it had a bunch of flashbacks to murder, so I'd say it was, like, bordering on being spooky. But if I had played Dungeon Keeper, that would have been even less spooky, so I got a game that was slightly spooky. I mean, the year before I played Vampire the Masquerade, which, like, I was dressed as a vampire, but it's not, like, a super spooky game. So, it's like with a lot of retro games, the spooky games aren't really that spooky. So, like, the horror game boom was after the cutoff point for retro games for most people. Anyway. Exactly, so close enough. It was a murder mystery. There was a guy hallucinating about a bunch of murders. So, yeah. Anyway, for 3 days, you must wait. Yeah, I know I was dressed for Dungeon Keeper as well. Like, I was also considering a lot of other games, but... Fine. I had a fun stream. Alone amongst these dead stones. But yeah, sometimes you just have too many ideas and have to make a decision. So that's what I did. Only then you'll be ready. Okay. Well, that's reassuring. Right, it's in the middle on a pedestal. To me, the pedestal kind of blends into the ground, so... Fine. Into the door we go. To complete your journey, Mr. Ashdow. Who's that? I'm not sure we've met Mr. Ashdow. That lock looks kind of strange. It was like a circle and a triangle underneath. It seemed a bit like a caricature of the shape of a lock. I mean, most locks I know more have like a rectangle type shape at the bottom, not triangle. Still like curtains there. But yeah, since I've played a lot of the typical spooky, like, games from the era, at this point it's more of like a generally spooky or kind of modern, but not fully modern. So, it's, well, lots of stuff. But, yeah. Nice thing is the other VODs are available, so... Anyway, I think I can remember. It's terrible screech. I'm not sure who we are. But it's not that of an animal. There is something human in it. A desperate cry for forgiveness. Okay. Who's sniffing my ear? They found me on the beach, unconscious. Clutching the piece of wood that had saved me from drowning. I mean, it's nice that he was, well, that this person was able to clutch a piece of wood while being unconscious. Like, that's kind of impressive. When at last I awoke, the letter was waiting on my table. Dear Wakefield, I write this letter in my last moments of lucidity. I've not received word from you since I regained consciousness, but I'm confident you will soon return with information that is crucial to our investigation. The bravery that you have demonstrated in the face of these last discoveries is worthy of my most sincere admiration. I must now ask you for yet more courage. The doctors were unable to determine the cause of my sudden illness, nor have they found a cure. I've not much time left. My greatest regret is that I must abandon you to the difficult tasks that lie ahead. I implore you to persevere, now that we are so close to finding an answer. The professor's documents were filled with references to a place of dark legend. The Crone-Meaden, an ancient sanctuary on the island of Ellismore. I'm not sure how to pronounce any of these things, but I'm trying. The exact location of the Crone-Meaden has been lost, but the professor believed that its secrets may explain why his experiments met with such disastrous results. You must find this place, my friend. I do not need to remind you to exercise the uttermost discretion. I have complete trust in you. And there's his grave. Always your friend, Johann Kaufmann. Okay. Well, there he goes. The weather is laying it on a bit thick. With Kaufmann gone, I found myself lost. My life suddenly devoid of meaning. I wonder if he got poisoned. It was as though my friend had written a letter to a person who no longer existed. Weeks passed, maybe months. I did not count the time, but the day came when I realized there was no other option. He's been walking in the rain for months. To honor my friend's memory, I had to keep looking. I had to find Jeremiah DeWitt. Wherever he was. Okay. We're at the island. I can see the island in the distance. Yeah. So can I. And I see lots of sky. Yeah. He had a bit of a journey last episode. So, Season 2, Episode 3, The Reunion. And here we are, the island of Ellismore. Thank you very much. Ellismore. Still don't know how to pronounce that, but I'll just pretend that I do. According to Kaufmann's letter, the legendary Crone-Meaden can be found here. I also don't know what that is, but just keep on having me say that word. Maybe some point I'll know what it is and how to pronounce it. As Kaufmann emphasized, I must exercise discretion. For all I know, the playwright's watching. Okay, why is there a person just... I thought this island was supposed to be abandoned, but clearly not. Good evening. Visiting? I hope you enjoy your stay. Okay. Yeah, I might play it at some point. We'll see. I mean, I do tend to focus on retro games, and this technically isn't one, but as I said, we'll see. Fun fact, yesterday, like, for Halloween night, I was watching Poltergeist for the first time. And, yeah, it was fun. Good evening. Welcome to Elsmore. Okay. No, it's not because you're suggesting it. I've also thought about it in the past, but as I said. Good evening, my name is Wakefield. I just arrived on the island. You ought to speak with Lord Donnan, then. Beg your pardon? Lord Donnan, you should see him. Okay. The original. Oh, your new ones don't have pockets. Well. Sounds like mistakes were made. An abandoned wheel? A peculiar cog is attached to it. I'll take that. Based on the cog's workmanship, it looks like it was part of a complex industrial mechanism. Someone has tried to fit it crudely onto that broken bicycle wheel. How on earth did it come to be in a village like this? Yeah, I haven't seen the second one yet. But I might soon-ish. Door is locked. Because I am curious about how the story continues. Like, after watching the first one, there's so many open questions, so... Excuse me, are you Mr. Wakefield? I am. I have a message from Lord Donnan. Lord Donnan? Yes, the one we heard about. To our most recent visitor, Mr. Wakefield. It is customary in Elsmore to welcome strangers with hospitality. I should be honoured if you would accept this invitation to join me at my manor for dinner and amiable conversation. Your new friend, Lord Donnan. So, is the other house I went to his manor? I guess not. Because it would have been silly if he just refused to open until I read his invitation. Then he would open the door. Is that the golf course? Reminds me of Wasteland. It's locked. Okay. Blocked. But I'm not sure why you'd have those yellow flag thingies all around. I feel like we're going to get location markers for a lot of the other areas here. But not yet. Interesting carpet. Well, Dr. Wakefield, you're on holiday then? Yes, indeed. I've come to enjoy a rest somewhere far from the stresses of the city life. I see. Well, if it's distractions you've come looking for, you've chosen the right time of year for it. These days we celebrate a very special tradition of our kin. Something unique. We call it the Festival of Reunion. Fascinating. May I ask, what does that entail? According to tradition, for the next 3 nights, the spirits of reunion leave the confines of the other side and roam the hills of Ellismore. We wear costumes and masks! so that the spirits will not recognize us and make us the targets of their mischief. Very fitting to play this game the day after Halloween. Certain rites take place too. But I shouldn't bore you with the details. You shall have occasion to see for yourself. My sincere thanks for your warm welcome. No need to thank me. I simply observe our traditions. Okay. So he's saying he just invited me out of obligation. Nice. An exotic blend of black tea. Kind of looks like they're holding mugs, but they're also, like, they've got more mugs sitting on the table. Like, what else are these? Like, I'm guessing that's the teapot. But what's that? Okay, I'll look at the carpet. An odd mosaic adorns the floor. It depicts two snakes biting each other. Interesting. It's a snake world, I guess. A large statue of a person is so eroded by the passage of time it is difficult to tell any specific detail. Yeah, maybe they're kissing. Who knows? Two engraved panels on the wall. They appear to be ancient, but I cannot decipher their meaning. Okay, so what do I do? I ask him about the stuff. Let's ask about the snakes. Well, I kind of noticing this remarkable mosaic. It looks authentic. Yes, it is. Although some historians might disagree, we believe that this manor was built atop an ancient Roman villa. In our traditions, the double serpent represents a sentinel that protects us from the terrible threat hidden within itself. Yeah, I thought it was a rug too. It looks a lot more like a rug than a mosaic to me. I think it's the colours. But I do kind of get, like, the Roman mosaics tend to be that kind of colour scheme, I think. At least the ones I've seen. So. Let's ask about the statue. The statue's remarkable. May I ask what it represents? It is Lumfada. I'm sure I'm butchering that name. Hero and High King of our myths. Okay, and lastly, the engraved panels. Do these panels on the wall represent a classical theme? Cannot seem to place it. They're the panels of the first king of Ellismore. In the days of the Druids, we worship the great god Lug. And our kings did right by those beliefs. So many names, and they're interesting. You seem to be knowledgeable about Ellismore's folklore. I should very much like to learn about the island's history in more detail. It's true that we in Ellismore cleave to the ancient traditions. That's a strange way to say that. We haven't lost touch like some of those on the mainland, but I'm no expert. If you're really interested, you should talk to Miss Foster. Please forgive my indiscretion, but do you consider yourself a religious man, Dr. Wakefield? It is the 1920s. Would he consider himself religious? I mean, based on all the stuff he's seen, I'm guessing no. No, I do not. He seems so certain. May I ask why? Got a feeling I don't seem certain, but to this guy I am. Yes, so very certain. As I try to figure out whether or not this guy's religious or not. Um... I'm guessing just not a man of faith, because, I mean, based on, like, him going to all the, like, religious establishments, he also didn't really seem that interested, so. I've not yet found a religion that provides the answers I seek. I see. Let's take a walk by the lake. From there, we can see the beauty of the island as we talk, and be the better for it. Okay then. The marsh in this valley was simpletons. A wellspring of fruitful tales. Oh, is for simpletons. The educated among us enjoy the tales as little more than distractions. Knowing us safe from those visions, we know these stories to be nothing but superstition. But how can we be so sure that in the dense mist that emanates from the stagnant water, we may not find passages to other worlds? What if the wails that drift from the reeds in the darkest of nights are the songs of those from our worst nightmares? I mean, it sounds very likely. Many of the gods that men worshipped for millennia now lie buried in the common grave of oblivion. In Usmore, we keep our traditions alive. They change, just as the times do, but they always keep their essence. These are our roots, Doctor. And our random logs on the beach. I must now take my leave, as my presence is required to start the rites of reunion. Feel free to continue your walk on your own. The village can be found just beyond those hills. As I mentioned earlier, you may wish to speak with Miss Foster. She's something of a resident expert on Ellismore's history. She can often be found working late at the school, the building right across from the quay. Bundespräsidentenschicht Wiederholungsverschiebung. It has been a pleasure meeting you. Farewell, Dr. Wakefield. It has been a pleasure, Lord Donham. Okay. What's this thing and why is it moving? An old barrel lies stranded on the shore. Painted label reads mineral oil. It's sealed. Can I have it? The water of the marsh is murky and dark. Well, I can't carry that whole barrel in my pocket. I am quite disappointed. Oh nice, they're in their costumes already. Excuse me? Hello, my name is Wakefield. Hi. What are you drawing on the ground? It's a symbol, not a drawing. Symbol? What does it mean? It's the final truth that'll protect us from the marsh dwellers, but we're not allowed to say its name out loud. Okay. The marsh dwellers? Who are they? They're scary. My Aunt Kathleen says they were really bad people. You'd never see them, but you'd hear them in the reeds. They try to take you in there with them. That's why we can't come here alone. We always have to take someone with us. Okay, then. Now let's go now. Goodbye. Farewell. Yeah, I mean, in plenty of point and clicks, they can manage to carry some impressively large items. Just not in this one. A huge hole lies in front of me. An ominous, chilling draft issues from within that sends shivers down my spine and makes me very uneasy. To a superstitious mind, it might seem like a passage to another world. I mean, going that far underground is, you know, different. Obviously still on Earth, but pretty sure that it would be difficult to compare how life that far down would be to life at the surface. So in a way, it would be another world. This place appears to be the remnants of an ancient temple to some unknown deity. Kinda looks like a sun symbol. But it might not be. I feel like this is gonna be relevant. Why else would they have a giant circular hole in the ground? Broken fence. So I can go this way or that way. Okay, that's the way back. So we've got the hills over here, village, and the manor. Yeah, we're in the hills. Where was that lady's house supposed to be? Not sure if it was supposed to be up in the hills or back at the village. I guess it's back at the village. The lady who's gonna tell us everything about this entire island. Okay. Back we go. Oh, this gate is open. But that's the graveyard. Lanterns. It's kind of nice. Why are there so many people at graveyard right now? Oh. I believe they're burying mirrors in a hole in the ground. What a peculiar tradition. Yep, it is. Man hides his face behind a fox mask. He murmurs something in unison with the others. A muted prayer I cannot quite make out. Okay, then. We'll just walk over here. Anything I can do with that door? Okay. I think that might be the lady I was supposed to talk to. Good evening. To what do I owe the pleasure? I'm a busy woman, as you can see. My name is Dr. Wakefield. I've come to Ellismore to rest for a while. Lord Donnan said I might find you here. Have you met Lord Donnan? It's been so long since I've seen him here in the village. I hope he is well. I'll not even try to pronounce that. Welcome to Ellismore, Dr. Wakefield. Alright. So, what can you tell me about this curious festival? Well, it takes place when the constellation Reunion is visible in the sky. Those nights, dark things and spirits ride the winds that travel across the hills. As you may have already seen, at sunset the villagers don masks. They do this so that the spirits will not know them or carry them away to the depths of their underground caves. So if the spirits see your face, they go, "Oh, I know you, I'm gonna, like, murder you because of, I guess, disliking the person when they were alive." And just, like, why do they all expect to have a bunch of vengeful spirits out trying to kill them specifically? Like, are these people just being rude to each other? So, you've not seen Lord Donnan lately? As far as I know, no one has seen him since, well, It's been a few weeks. Now that the festival has started, maybe they'll be motivated to join us in the village. Did something happen a few weeks ago? Oh, sure, it was truly terrible. Kieran, his only child, disappeared without a trace. He went off to play in the hills and just vanished. No one has seen him since. Good lord. You say he's not been found yet. How is that possible? We all searched the island, but he was nowhere to be found. I've got a feeling he's in that giant hole in the ground that nobody probably looked in. What can you tell me about Kieran's disappearance? Just that he was a restless child who loved exploring deserted areas, like giant holes in the ground. You might learn more from his classmates. His desk was in the back corner. There was a group of masked people at the graveyard. Was that part of the festival? Yes. That was one of the first rites of the reunion. A very important one. As I said, people dress up to protect themselves from those that will come. But this is not enough. Since the mirrors they have looked into while changing know their identities, they bury them next to the old Fearnog. The roots of this tree grow in both worlds at the same time, so they keep the witness mirrors safe. So they buy new mirrors every year? Or make new mirrors? Or maybe they dig them up right after the festival? Lord Darnan said you're an expert on the island's folklore. He said that, did he? Well, I wouldn't call myself an expert now, but I've lived here in Elsmore longer than most, and I've heard my fair share of stories about the other side and its people. Okay. May I ask you a question, Miss Foster? Yes, of course. Do you know the meaning of the word crone maiden? Yes. It's a very unusual word, very much indeed. You don't say. The Crone Maiden is a sanctuary of the sanctuary of the Crooked One. It is a cursed place, the dwelling of the devil. I recall it from the tales that I heard as a child. Of course, our elders only made up those tales to scare us and protect us from harm. Okay. Would you tell me the story? Alright. There's a hole in the ground up in the hills. Not too far from the village. A hole so dark and deep, you'd not see the end. Folks around here believe there lies an old serpent at its depths, ravenous for flesh, the Crooked One. Long ago, our ancestors threw livestock into the pit in the hope of placating the Crooked One's hunger, though that tradition has not been practiced for some time. So perhaps it would be best if you did not approach the hole. It is said that the last heir of the Ladesad once defied the Crooked One by approaching the rim with an iron amulet in her hand. It is general knowledge that beings from the other side detest iron, so the cursing and the shouting of the young Ladesad received no immediate answer. But a few nights later, the Ladesad house was consumed by a horrific blaze, putting an end to the old family. Okay then. Must leave now. It's been a pleasure. Pleasure was mine. Enjoy your time in Ellismore. So, I think that's the desk. Paper with black circles painted on it. Indeed. And there's some kind of worn screw inside, the remains of an insect beside it, and some drawings engraved on the desk. I'll take the drive with me. It may prove itself useful. Okay. Okay, steal a sponge. They'll dance around the burrow around the burrow, they'll sing. It's cold inside as winter. Don't get too close, don't get too close, or else they'll pull you in. Wasn't that a nice rhyme? All the villagers are gone. Yes, it was definitely tanned. I mean, I guess it was an accurate depiction of what happens when I go out in the sun. So. Oh, a bottle. A bottle is floating on the water. It's caught on seaweed, just out of reach. I think there's something inside. I mean, just out of reach. Fine. Further than that. I'll probably need a stick or something. Wonder where they all went. Where was that other house that I couldn't get into? Oh, is that the one? The one with the wheel? Yes, okay. So is the school. Makes sense. For some reason, I just thought that on that screen I came in from the other side. But no. Faint smell of fish and potatoes drifting through the shutter. The fish smells slightly rotten. Yum. I mean, nothing better than some slightly rotten fish, right? I do wonder why they even need a mirror to get changed in front of. Because those masks seem like, you know, those like giant mascot suits. It doesn't seem like you have to apply anything to your face with that much detail. Nothing out here by the looks of it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that that kid ended up at the bottom of that hole. I should have just started using that thing as a garbage dump and by now it would be filled up. That's how you solve problems. The noise of the swing, gently being moved by the wind, is the only thing breaking the silence. Like, if they threw all their compost down there, it would probably be filled up by now. Strange mechanism runs from the mill wheel shaft into the building. It seems to be lacking a small piece. Like a screw? Aha! Still have the cog though. Nope, still closed. Kieran's playroom is written on the door in hand-painted letters. The door is locked. Oh, Kieran is the kid. Right. The kid who disappeared. Now the water wheel is working. It seems the mechanism works properly. Doesn't need an additional cog. So I guess we'll need to find a key for that somewhere. Not sure where it would be, but I'll see. Oh. It is a safety bicycle. I still do not understand how they managed to keep balance with such small wheels. Looks quite new. But its chain is broken. Okay. Maybe I'll find a way to fix this chain. Not quite sure how you'd fix a bicycle chain. Never had to fix one before. Never used a bicycle enough for the chain to break. Where do we go next? I mean, we didn't really get a specific task. It's an industrial cogwheel that I found lying discarded in the village. And chain of a bicycle I found. It's missing a link. Okay. I mean, I'd assume if it's missing a link, maybe the length of the chain is super important. I am not a bicycle mechanic. But like, with a lot of other metal chain type things, if it's missing a bit, you could just shorten it and then reconnect it. Can I use the chain for the bottle? It's not long enough. Chain the cog? No. Oh, maybe if I find the missing link, then it'll be long enough. I'm definitely very confused with all the different areas I can get to. Like, the graveyard, the school. There's just so much going on. Anything in the bin? Filled with papers. There's a drawing on one. Beautiful. It's a child's drawing. There seems to be a village, a lake, and some sort of creature. Looks like a dragon. Okay. Maybe we can ask her about it? No. Show it to her? There. I found this picture. Was it made by one of your students? Yes. This was painted by our poor Kieran. What would you say it represents? Things that were familiar to him. The village, his home. But these other shapes, I do not know. I could ask one of his classmates. Or you could ask one of his classmates. They should be able to tell you more about it. I'm guessing the classmates are some other people in costumes. I mean, these ones don't seem to want to talk to me. Good morning. How are you doing today? Small mausoleum. The door has a small slot. Might be able to peer through it. Inside a candle provides dim light. I can also make a statue of a hooded man. I can also hear whispering. No, I can't die yet. Not without knowledge. Is it so terribly unthinkable to truly understand the gods? How can we live only on faith? No, shut up. Knowledge is what I pursue, not faith nor assumptions. No. No man can face death believing there is nothing on the other side. Yes, you're right. Now I understand. Okay. I'll just be over here. I mean, maybe no man has tried to eat 50 eggs. I think I'll go back to the hills. He does end up doing it. Well, nice. Just seems like that would maybe mess with your digestion a bit. Sounds like a lot of eggs. I found this drawing at the school. Is it yours? That? No. Kieran painted it a long time ago. The drawing is Kieran's. There could be a clue of his whereabouts? What's this? That's the crooked one. They say a villager defied it, and the next day her house was burnt to the ground. Right. They said it was the crooked one paying her back. That's the house where Kieran found the treasure. Do you know how to get there? Sure, it's easy. Okay, there we go. I've never actually had deviled eggs. To me, it's just, like... I'm already not a huge fan of hard-boiled eggs, and deviled eggs just seemed like a step further. So... Were you Kieran's friend? He was nice. He didn't want to play much. He was mostly for going in the hills by himself. Okay. Was Kieran not scared of the marsh dwellers? No. He said he had seen them and that they were not scary, not as scary as Aunt says. I think that's why they took him. You think the marsh dwellers took him? Yes, for sure. Before he disappeared, he said he found a treasure. A disc with a beautiful drawing. He took it from the old house in the hills. Maybe the marsh dwellers wanted it. Okay. Must go now. Goodbye. Farewell. And the other one still doesn't want to talk. Figured. But there goes the drawing. So I guess we figured that out. Wrong way. I'm just trying to get to map. Yeah, for me, I tend to not like overly spicy food. And, like, certain textures I just dislike. And to me, deviled eggs just seemed like something that I wouldn't like, so I just avoided them. Maybe I'll try them at some point, though. A wicker statue sporting a pair of animal horns. The twigs look fresh. I mean, I wonder how fresh, because I'm guessing not like they were placed there today, more like they were placed there when Kieran disappeared. Metal trapdoor, it seems to lead to some sort of basement. And it opens. I think this basement might have once housed a library. It looks like it was not burned as badly as the rest of the house. Even so, little here remains intact. I mean, you'd think the library wouldn't really do that well in a house fire. A common carpenter's brace. A tool like this would be used for drilling holes in wood. I'll just take that. Could be useful later. Ah, that type. Wasn't sure what the game meant up until I saw the drawing. An ornate chest. Its inside untouched by the fire. It was probably opened long after the inferno died down. There's a diary inside. It's signed Brigand Ladesard. Several pages towards the end are missing. August 1801. Words cannot express the gratitude that I feel for Aunt Mary's bequest. May her dear soul rest in peace. This house is just what I needed to still my nerves after the exhausting pace of my life in Dublin. 10th of September, 1801. Would not have thought to find such a remarkable library hidden away in the basement. It includes several magnificent tomes on the most picturesque customs of our land. September 23rd. Found Aunt Mary's diaries next to an odd iron disc. But the contents of the diaries were appalling. What could have happened that dear old Mary would write such things? The damnable place that she speaks of must know if it really exists, and resolve to investigate our family's crypt. It would be prudent to wait until dusk before travelling to the Northern Cape, so as not to be seen. 25th. The abbey was in such a state of decay that it was nearly impossible to find the mural painting in the dark. Fortunately, a dim light happened to shine through the gap in a wall. I'm having issues reading today. Sorry about that. Illuminating the face of the sentinel. I believe Aunt Mary's iron disc is needed to open the secret passage. 10th of October. Is this the legacy of the Ladesard? I can stand bear no longer. A fire will put an end to this blasphemy and cleanse the land of our family's curse. And should the fire prove insufficient, may this testimony serve as a warning. Miss Ladesard must have found something abhorrent in her family's crypt. If I could find out what it was, I may learn more about the Crown Maiden. My intuition tells me that I must act tonight, or else it will be too late. Very convenient intuition. Old Abbey. Alright. Let's go there. Nice random voices howling in the background. Ah. Neat. Like a statue is burning. Who did this? Probably one of the rituals. Okay. Another wicker statue right in front of it. The wicker statue stands like a silent guard. Its presence makes me uncomfortable, as though I've trespassed onto forbidden grounds. I can check if sound effects are... like, if they're turned down again. No, they're not. So... I can turn up sound even more. Like, in this area it seems quite quiet. But there does seem some... there seems to be some sound happening, according to OBS. I just can't really make anything out. Probably just static or something. This must be the old abbey that Brigid Ladesard described in her diary. Could be the Crone Maiden here. Could the Crone Maiden be here? Brigid mentioned a dim light, but I see only darkness. Okay. Yeah. The sound at the beginning was quite loud. The dome appears to be Roman in origin. It was in better condition than the other ruins. Yeah, but, like, probably not for long with how those pillars are looking. Columns? Whatever. The thingy's holding up the dome. So what am I supposed to find here? I mean, I thought the Romans made it to Ireland, but I'm not well versed in Irish history. I just feel like it's been referenced in some type of media at some point. A crack in the wall? Sure, can go back and look at that. Like, nothing here. No, I don't see anything. Nope. That's just the way back. Hmm. Yeah, I think that was about the crypt. Not sure if the crypt is supposed to be at the graveyard. That just feels like the more natural location for it. Like, was that the one? Only darkness. Cannot see... No, I cannot hear or see anything. Okay. And they're done burying their mirrors. I would rather not interfere with traditions I do not quite yet understand. So I might interfere with their traditions later, just not yet. Oh, I haven't been here before. Empty doghouse. Nothing has slept here in many years. Kind of surprising that no other creature would end up wanting to take shelter in a doghouse, because, like, seems quite convenient. Ah, nice. And this thing... An old rowboat, well, filled with stale water. Something sticking out of the water. Is that an umbrella? Handle of an umbrella? It's a worn out umbrella. Doesn't look like it will rain anytime soon, but there might be a purpose for it. And I already know what that purpose is. Let's go back to the village. In whichever way is going to be fastest. Let's get that thing. A paper is rolled up inside the bottle. Gods remain silent as the fog settles. We may look for the king beyond the clouds, but find the queen with a fiery crown. Okay, then. Not sure what to do with that information. Yeah, that song. Been a while since that song came out. But I'm sure it's still at least somewhat popular. Haven't listened to the radio in a while. So what do I do with this? I guess I could try and see if the lady we talked to earlier has anything to say about it. Why is the school connected to the graveyard? Because that is a bit strange. Well, she's gone now, so can't ask. Shelf handmade books with unfamiliar titles. Most of them concern strange rites. Handmade books sound so fancy. I've never tried to make a book. I'm a bit of a crafty person, so kind of just a matter of time until I decide to get into bookbinding. But at this point, never tried it. But it sounds very fancy to have a shelf full of handmade books. And I guess also handwritten. Or hand-typed? Were typewriters a thing this time? I think? Maybe? I think we're in the 1920s, right? I don't currently have an herb garden, but eventually, yes. That is indeed a matter of time. It's quite nice to enjoy cooking and gardening, because those definitely mix well. No matter the strength of the structure, all things succumb to time. But whether it was the ages or something else that ravaged the place, I cannot say. True that. But yeah, they're hobbies that really go well together. Yeah, still the smell of slightly rotten fish. I think I'll look at the bottle again, see if there's still a message in it. Tumbled and frosted by its time on the sea. Yeah, so it's just empty now. Can I open it? No. I mean, it's a drill, not a corkscrew. I don't think I can fix the chain with a drill. Don't think a bottle would help with fixing it. I already tried combining the chain and the cog. maybe trying to get back into the playhouse thing. True, true. Might need to do that. Because we could use the drill to drill a hole into the barrel and then use the barrel to get the oil. That could definitely be true. Noise of the swing gently being moved by the wind is the only thing breaking the silence. I'd completely forgotten about the barrel. Yeah. Door is locked. Can I drill out the lock? No. I mean, it seems kind of fancy that they've got, like, nice locks on their doors. Considering they need to hand make their own books. But maybe they just want to, who knows? Let's see. Do we want some oil? Maybe able to drill a hole in the barrel using this brace. Lovely. Now that there is a hole in the barrel, I just have to push the bottle in a bit, and I managed to fill it with oil. Neat. Can I oil the chain? No. It's a drawing of some sort of spiked circle. Is it the sun or something else? We've seen that symbol before. And this? The child that I spoke with earlier seems to have left his mask here. There's a ribbon hanging from it. Oh, there goes the ribbon. Okay. Let's go get the ribbon. Before it's blown away. Where did it go? There it is. I can see a lighthouse in the distance. Uh-huh. There we go. I'm thinking that might be the last location on this map. We'll see. Ribbon? A red ribbon. I think it was part of the child's mask that was left behind in the hills. It may have provided the light that Brigid spoke of in her diary, but the lamp is off. Wonder if it has been abandoned. Probably, considering the light is out. I mean, a lighthouse without a light? How much more abandoned could it be? I do think it's kind of interesting how much, like, how many different types of media include lighthouses. It just feels like there are certain types of buildings and types of professions that are just very prevalent in media compared to others. And lighthouses seem like one of those. What a ghastly custom. This wicker man is the shape of a hangman. Yeah, but, like, if they set that thing on fire, the tree might also go with it. They are nice, yes. No one is answering. A wide copper pipe runs from the tower to the ground. It's covered in salt and seaweed. Sounds like it attracted someone's attention downstairs. Yeah, I mean, that seemed pretty loud. Yeah, true. Like, some jobs just seem like they're in almost everything, while some other ones are kind of forgotten about. Like, even just, like... think of all the different times that you've seen, let's say, a flower shop, a butcher's shop, a bakery. Like, those tend to be more prevalent. But, like, let's say, like, a shop that sells wool. That's not very prevalent in games. Even though there are plenty of those for, like, in areas where there's people who like to do, like, fiber crafts and stuff, but still, there's quite a few of those. Especially nowadays, compared to, well, all the different shops that are basically just stuff you buy at the grocery store now. So, I just think it's interesting. Wool, as in, sheep hair. So, good evening. Would you happen to be the lighthouse keeper? My name is Wakefield. A stranger. What would he want from me? I'm a visitor to Ellis Moor. This lighthouse caught my eye. Since it's dark, you thought it to be abandoned. Well, it's not. Even though I can barely see a thing, this is my house. Yes, I meant wool. Yeah, I'm just saying that, like, certain types of stores are way more likely to be, like, portrayed than others. I just think it's, you know, there it seems to be a very strange bias based on, like, the shops that, like, someone who would, like, that video game developers presumably go to, or that they've heard a lot about, even though they might not actually be that common now, so, yeah. I have never heard that term before, but possibly, depending on what that term means. But my point is, there's quite a few craft-type stores out there. And yeah, they're not really seen. Hat shops, sure. Like, not many of those. So, yeah, I just think it's strange that there's certain professions that they tend to focus way more about than others. And certain types of buildings. Why is the lighthouse lamp not lit? Is it not dangerous for the ships? Do not let it concern you. Many years ago, the sea lanes were altered to avoid this coast. Now it's rare indeed to see a ship in these waters, After the accident, the lighthouse was never repaired. And yeah, that kind of shop. Yeah, I've seen some of those. True that. But yeah, like, those shops would have to be around in this time as well. But probably not gonna see them. So, yeah. Is there failure in the lamp's mechanism? Precisely that. One stormy afternoon, I suddenly heard a strong noise up in the light room. The clockwork mechanism had stopped working, and the lamp was off. I'd never seen a failure like that. I could not get the lighthouse working again. Yes, it's a very British sounding word. The only context in which I've heard that word was in a show that's about sewing, but they didn't quite, like, specify what it means exactly. Other than, like, sewing stuff? But I didn't know that, like, it refers to, like, specific shops as well. So, yeah. Anyway. Has nobody else tried to fix the lamp since? No, no one in the village is interested. For them, the more isolated Ellismore is, the better. They do not care about ships or accidents, especially Lord Donnan. He sees anything going from outside of the island as a threat. Including me? I'm from outside the island. Is it dripping? Yeah, it's dripping. That's a good sign. You say you had an accident. What happened? I was checking the lenses because the failure looked so very strange, and I was worried. All of a sudden, the light must have turned on. I was blinded and can see nothing but fleeting shapes ever since. It was both. It was a filter together with, actually being painted. I can turn on the filter now, and you'll be able to see the difference it makes and doesn't make. So, 1 second. There. There. So, that's as red as the filter makes me without any of the red makeup. So, as you can see, I was wearing red makeup. So, yeah. Like, before, after. Before, after. So, yeah, I was definitely wearing red makeup. And quite a bit of it. There. I understand. So, let's ask about Kieran's disappearance, I guess. Do you know anything about the disappearance of Lord Donnan's son? There's like one tiny bit of light that's managing to come in from the window. And it's hitting part of my setup, and I was going, how is that light coming in through the blackout curtains? Well, anyway. A tragedy it was. A strange one, but a tragedy nonetheless. What was so strange about Kieran's disappearance? I just find it a bit suspicious that it happened so close to the reunion. It's too easy to be keeping secrets during the festival. Be how everyone is afraid of leaving the village those nights. What do you mean? Look, folks here are gullible. Too gullible. They'll do anything to protect themselves from their strange fears. They'll not eat corn, nor drink milk, or they'll dig graves for their mirrors. And of course, they'll avoid standing near a fear nog too long, because though the fiends cannot touch the tree, they're attracted to the smell of its resin. But surely it's all nonsense. Look, it's really easy to prove it all wrong. Just don't follow the rituals. You're a stranger to our ways. But have you seen any of the things I mentioned? Uh, well, I definitely enjoy Halloween, and a lot of my costumes are a bit extravagant. I don't tend to be the person to just buy a costume off the rack and, like, just leave it at that. I tend to go a bit silly with it. So, yeah, like, last couple years of costumes, zombie, ghost, vampire, and now demon slash devil. Not really specified all that much. The intention was demon, but, like, yeah. But yeah, I just enjoy it. And yeah, I don't really like off-the-rack Halloween costumes, so I tend to just make stuff myself as much as I can, and also use the stuff I already have. So, difference between demon and devil? I think the difference is that there are more demons. So, like, as in, I think lore-wise, the demons are supposed to be helping the devil, but the devil just being a singular entity. But, like, you know, people don't generally agree completely on mythology type stuff, so yeah. Yeah, off-the-rack stuff, it tends to be very cheaply made, in my experience, and just not looking good in general. So, like, no matter the lighting, it's just never gonna look good. So I tend to try and go for normal clothing, that just, you know, is a bit out there. But that way, it's stuff that's not just going to go to waste after. Like, the thing I was wearing yesterday is a dress that I am definitely looking forward to wearing many more times because it's very comfortable and it has the biggest of sleeves, so it's awesome. So, yeah. Well, I did see a group of people in the village burying mirrors. Exactly. What do you think would happen if you unburied those mirrors? That a band of goblins would come out of the marshes to steal them? Nothing but nonsense. I mean, yeah. It does seem like a lot of superstitions. What of Kieran's disappearance then? Well, I'll admit, I'm not sure what happened to the boy. But one thing I'm sure of, this festival of reunion is nothing but a farce. And it would be just so easy to prove it. Might I go upstairs and see the light room? Even though the lamp is off, I should like to take a view of the surrounding countryside. Well, I do not think you'll see anything, really. But if you're so interested, yes, I guess you may. Okay. Nice. Thank you for the pleasant conversation. I must go. Logs and firewood. Drip of water left unchecked has ruined the mantle and collected into a small pool. I should like to visit the light room now, if I may. Yes, yes, you already have my permission. Yeah, I'd say, Halloween costume quality is kind of similar to Halloween decoration quality. Like, the vast majority of it is just junk that's supposed to last maybe a week at most, in terms of the decorations. And the costumes supposed to last one wear, and that's it. So, I just think that's a shame. looks like the lighthouse's electric lamp battery slot. Okay. Looks like the lamp is lit by some sort of electric switch. However, the battery is flat. Can I oil it? No. The lamp surrounded by 8 large lenses. It's off. Clockwork mechanism that causes the lamp's reflector to spin. However, I think something is missing. Could do with some oiling as well. A cog, maybe? The cog was the missing piece of the mechanism that replaced it. However, the mechanism is still too rusty to move. Oiling it? There's a little hole in the tank and the oil is leaking. The mechanism will not work properly unless I fix it. Okay. Ribbon? Now I can oil the mechanism without worrying about it leaking. Good enough. Yeah, I mean, the costume stuff I made, like, for the zombie costume, I just used, old clothing that was not fit to be worn anyway at that point, and I wanted to get rid of, and I think it was stuff that didn't even fit me properly anymore. But yeah, so I used that, and it turned out okay. And, so, like, I transformed that into a zombie costume. And for the ghost one, I, also used some stuff that was kind of torn anyway, so it couldn't be repaired, but it worked great for a ghost costume. And it looked old-fashioned, and yeah, it fit. Yeah, and for the demon/devil costume, I made the horns myself, because the stuff that I saw online, I didn't want that. I didn't want to spend money buying that, so I figured I'd rather just make it myself and have it look exactly like I wanted to. The color didn't quite fit as well with my, like, shade of red that I ended up being, but still. I do like how the horns turned out. The small stove hardly manages to warm such a spacious room. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do with this thing. Perhaps I can find a way to recharge the battery. Oh, there we go. Now I've got it. So, anything where I could get electricity. Did we see anything that had anything to do with electricity? We'll just have to look around, I think. But I kind of like the idea of handing out stuff that isn't just candy, but on the other hand, handing out stuff that's just gonna be trash afterwards. Like, there are so many different places that offer very cheaply made plastic toys to hand out for Halloween. But they're just, yeah. The kind of stuff that's already garbage when you buy it. Yeah, actually, I didn't see any trick-or-treaters. I was just talking about in general. I used to be in an area where people would trick-or-treat, so. Oh yeah, that too. Of course. But yeah, I do think it's a shame that there's so much just garbage out there that's for sale. Like, why do you even manufacture that stuff? Oh, sure, well, the, I think its origins are in the UK, but, well. But if you look at a lot of holidays, they have their roots all around in different cultures and stuff, so. Saying that it's, from a different country, a lot of traditions are. Like, I don't know which country first came up with putting up a Christmas tree. It has to have been someone, but for the majority of us, we probably don't live in the country that first had Christmas trees. But we do it anyway, some of us. So. There are some traditions that people are more reluctant to take part in than others. So, yeah, there are so many strange Christmas traditions. I mean, over here, Christmas is also treated as more of a, like, uh, not much of a thing in some families yet thing. So, like, um, basically, they have a celebration earlier in December that is kind of celebrating the same guy, vaguely, but it's like, yeah, like over half a month earlier. Or, yeah, about half a month, bit over. And, yeah, Christmas itself is not as much of a thing. Hmm. Yeah, lots of things are just harvest festivals. Or, like, some sort of farming related festival. Like in spring, celebrating that it's finally time to start growing things again. Then in summer, celebrating that things are growing. Then in fall, celebrating the harvest of the year. Then in winter, trying to get through the winter. Celebrating that you made it like halfway through. Yeah, it's not the end of winter. I think it was more that like people just wanted something to look forward to in winter. Since it's a harsh season. But where are we going to charge this battery? Hmm. Oh, right. Supposed to dig up the mirror. Not too sure about this. Okay. Oh, I did it. Nope. What's that? Hmm. Well, hello there. I haven't actually played that many board games in recent years. The mirrors are completely shattered. Why would a masked man do this? Why indeed. But yeah, for me, the only board games I've really played are the ones meant for kids. So, people who are actually into board games would probably not consider those proper board games. Seems to be heading east. Like, to me, something I'm looking forward to this winter is working on the scarf that I'll be knitting. Probably gonna be done, like, by the end of winter, but still, it'll be very cozy while I make it. An ornate lever is built into the wall. Nice. Yeah, for me, I just never really got into that hobby. Okay. Interesting. But for me, I think in part it's because I just intended to be a very, like, isolated nerd for quite some time. Like, basically before I started streaming. Nice. The stranger's mask is lying on the floor. Something is underneath the mask. A coin. An old iron disc. A drawing of a spiked circle is engraved on it. Okay. Yes, yes, the mask still looks like the same old thing. I can hear something wandering in the dark. I can see a deformed shadow in there, writhing and fidgeting. I cannot get any closer. I don't really see anything. Oh, fine. Fine, now I see it. I need to look at it from a very strange angle. Then I can actually see it moving around. Like it's here right now? Yeah. But yes, it is nice to know stuff about nerd culture after having basically no clue for a long time. So. Celestial bodies made out of paper. A doll's theater lamp spinning around. Can I use that to charge the battery? No. A painted man-sized wooden doll represents an old lady. A painted man-sized wooden doll represents a king. I mean, I've got the coin thing. Not long ago, I might have found these toys amusing, but now they fill me with dismay, like some vile opium hallucination. Yeah, I've tried to click on that, but... no. It does look like there's something there, but can't interact with it. Oh, that's what the watermill is doing. What was that sound? The Roman statue lies shattered on the ground. Destroy such an ancient statue. Could this really be part of the festival? I guess not. Door is locked. I'm guessing that statue stood here? Who doesn't enjoy the statue and ancient artifact destroying festival? The best festival ever! So... where was the thing with the ruins? The Romans never conquered Ireland, they did not even try. Makes it sound kind of harsh. I mean, could be that they mean it as, like, they knew better than to try and defeat the Irish, but I just interpreted it as more of a, like, they knew better than to try because they don't want to conquer Ireland. But, I don't know. Already at the end of the Roman Empire. Yeah, that makes sense. I've not studied the expansion of the Roman Empire quite that much. Not sure what I'm supposed to do with that drawing. I mean, it's everywhere, but... But I've never actually been to Ireland. I've been to England, I've been to Wales, I've been to Scotland. Have not been to Ireland or Northern Ireland. So. England with more graveyards. I personally quite enjoyed visiting Scotland. Spent more time in Scotland than in Wales. Just went on like a day trip to Wales. So, can't really say as much about Wales. Windows are open, letting a chilly draft inside. You only drive through Wales. Poor Wales. How am I supposed to charge that battery? Electric mechanism that is used to store energy. Upper part looks like some sort of dynamo needs charging. No. 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 Okay. So I don't think I can combine anything. Of course, yeah. Hmm. I mean, my experience of going to Wales wasn't that bad. But to be fair, I only went to Cardiff, so. I didn't see as much of the countryside. Hmm. Should I try the solitary house again? I don't think there was anything there that I should interact with. I'll try the puppet theater again. Maybe I can use that to charge the battery because of the dynamo. Just not quite sure how. I wonder if that's the kid. Like, if he end up, like, getting injured, and ever since then he's in hiding. Where do I go next? Like, I feel like the main thing would be to charge that battery. Just don't know where. Okay, this one hasn't been lit yet. Still not sure about this place. Don't think we found anything here. So I don't know what its purpose is. Bottle filled with mineral oil. Bicycle chain missing a link. Yeah, upper part looks like some kind of dynamo. Needs charging. And old iron disc. I mean, it is iron, so... maybe I throw it at the hole in the ground? See what happens? See if I can anger some spirits? No. I actually quite liked the show Torchwood, and that's set in Cardiff, so. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to visit. That was fun. Yeah, I've also heard that quite a lot of Doctor Who is actually filmed in Cardiff. Because it's cheaper. Exactly. So, I just think that's funny. That, like I've heard it, like in some specific scenes, they go, yeah, that's straight in Cardiff, and they're pretending it's London, but it's not. It's just not as crowded, I guess, and just, you know, more convenient to film in. Yeah, I'm not quite sure where I'm supposed to go. Could I get a hint what I'm missing? At the house. This one? I guess? I mean, this thing is still burning. Maybe I could add oil to the fire. But yeah, of course, with the actual big cities. Must be the house that the child was telling me about. Kieran was here just before his disappearance. What's this? A mailbox. Envelope is very old. It's stamped returned, and there's a letter inside. Okay. Dear cousin, I'm doing poorly. I would ask you that you do not call upon me here at Ellismore. Not now, nor ever again. Please keep grandmother's ring. I believe that she would have wanted you to have it. Yours faithfully, Bridget. Okay. Something else in the envelope. The ring. Okay. An iron ring. Nice. Is there anything else out here? Don't think so. A chain. I don't see one. Also, the fire's dripping off of the wicker thing. Yes, things do happen in this game. Just need to figure out what to do to make progress. Oh, the item. Yeah, that's a bicycle chain. Can I use the ring with them? Okay. The ring fits perfectly on the chain. I'm sorry to use Bridget's grandmother's ring in such a manner. Still, maybe now the bicycle will work. Okay. That's very silly. Why would you try and repair a bicycle chain with a random ring? I mean, okay. Why not? So, I think it was... near the house over here. Ah, there it is. The tires are too threadbare. I do not see how I can ride safely, but at least the chain rotates. Do it. Dang it. Ah, can I use a disc instead? What if I oil it? Bicycle's well oiled already. So... Now I need something to replace the tires as well? What am I gonna use for that? Oh, right, for charging the battery. Wow. Good point. Now the bicycle is fixed, if I attach one of its cogs to the battery's dynamo, I may be able to provide it with charge. Yeah. Did not think of that. I managed to charge the battery by attaching the dynamo to the bicycle's cog. Neat. Now I just need to go back to the lighthouse. Oh, why? Oh god, now the statue is burning too. Is someone following me? Probably. Why is the statue burning? How do you make a statue burn? Like, is the statue made of wood somehow? Okay. Now that that's all fixed, I plonk it back in here. Hopefully the battery has enough charge to keep the lighthouse lit for a few hours. I mean, I doubt that, considering how little time we spent charging it. Okay, he doesn't care. Mechanism is still too rusty to move. Oil it some more. There we go. The cog was in the same pace. There. It has now been well oiled. It was easy to wind, and now it's back to life. Now I can tell him it works. It cannot be! I never thought I would hear the rhythm of my beloved lighthouse working again. You don't know how grateful I am. For years I've longed to hear those marvellous sounds. Memories of better times. Okay. See ya. Oh, there goes that one. And the rope gave away just as I passed. It's fine. That's not a bad omen or anything like that. I think at some point I heard a story of a lighthouse shining directly into a specific window every night. That just sounds so annoying. Imagine having that just shine in your bedroom window every few seconds. That would be horrible. So, where was the last one? Yeah, you'd definitely be finding some good curtains. Some very good curtains. I am definitely glad that blackout curtains exist, because they are very useful. Like, being able to actually watch a movie in summer. It's great. Like, having it be so that the sun is just making it impossible to see what's on your screen is just so annoying. Anyway, where was the last one that hadn't been lit yet? That one had been lit? Here? Yeah, still not lit. Dramatic music. Nope. Shadow's a bit weird. Yeah, it's definitely fancy. Yeah, the disc. Maybe I just jump in the hole now. Not sure how making the lighthouse spin again works with that, but... doesn't always have to make sense. Yippee! No. Yeah. Huge hole lies in front of me. Might seem like a passage to another world. Nothing happened. Still don't put the disc there. Can't use my items while I'm on that screen. What am I missing? Maybe I can use the coin at the Abbey? Because we haven't really done anything there. And that one had music, so that feels like the place to go. Emphasis on had. The light revealed a mural painting on the stones, just as it did for Bridget nearly a century ago. There we go. Okay. According to the diary, the light from the lighthouse revealed the eyes of the sentinel. Uh-huh. There. Yep. A pair of evil eyes seem to glitter in the dark. Do the evil eyes want a coin? The mouth of the sentinel is wide open. Okay. Now it did something. The hidden entrance is now open. What was that? What was that sound? I won't go check. It's fine. Or maybe I should. Oh, that one wasn't burning before. So someone just got past here and lit that one. Alright then. It's a good sign. The tunnel descends deep into the earth. Will I find the lead-sand crypt at the bottom? Or something? Dear God, I'm reeling. Kaufman, my friend, your faith in me was misplaced. I cannot... No, I will persevere. . That staircase has deteriorated. Looks more like a giant pile of skulls. Maybe it is. Who knows? Pretty dark down here. Should have taken a light along. A cave thing? Or no, that's the bottom of the hole. That's what that is. Some old pages lie haphazardly on the coffin lid. It's as though they've been dropped from the upper hill long ago. They bear faint notes written in a trembling hand. Down this unholy burrow in the feared crone maiden. Our worst nightmares crawl and die. Resting down here are the dauntless who dared to enter the lair of the snake and the bird. Each of those men, women, crossed the path between. They walked through the mist to the other side, where the ultimate truth screams in terror. And then they returned. These are my ancestors. Among the dead stones of the current maiden lie the proud Send. Reduced to something far worse than dust or ashes. Could that blasphemy in the coffin be Aunt Mary's true legacy? No, I shall not accept this fate for myself. Okay. Small coffin. Covered in ashes. Oh, there's a slot. This one is empty. Not quite as old as the others. And I apparently don't look inside. Oh, there. The engraving on the coffin is so badly eroded that the name's barely readable. Mary Ledsand. She was a dinosaur? Okay. Why? I don't see anything. Where do I go? Nope. Seekers of truth will sacrifice their wisdom to open the ways to where the fear nog blooms. Their offspring we welcome its hidden its hidden threat. Only the light of your sign will carry its purge. Oh. Hello there. Dramatic. Very dramatic. Just keep on walking, I guess. Yeah. Eyes. Hello, I see you too. That's a lot of eyes, and that's a bigger eye. It's more eyes. Even more eyes. Very big eye. Okay. Oh. What? Alright then. Yep, the adventure continues in the season finale. This one was released in 2015. Previously on The Last Door. After Kaufman's sudden death, Dr. Wakefield travels to the island of Ellesmere to search for the ancient Crone Maiden, a supposed path to the other side. He discovers the island inhabitants' terrible secret. They instill primordial terror and ritual subjects for them to cross the door and come back as hideous abominations. I still think they just had dinosaur ancestors somehow. Wakefield is himself subjected to this ritual. He is? And transported to an endless land of fog, where he finally seems to meet his missing patient. I didn't notice the part where he was forced into that ritual. He must be stopped. I think that font was smaller than previous font sizes. We have not come thus far. To see our work ruined now. Yeah, this was more the font size before, but... Not sure why they decided to go for a tiny font for the final chapter. But I'll be doing my best to read it anyway. Lost intro. Maybe we'll find the lost door now. We left the black waves of that sea behind and walked through the mist. So now we're back to the previous font size. At times, gusts of wind parted the mist, revealing a barren landscape under a dying sun. At first, I could not contain my many questions, but DeWitt's only reply was a grave silence. Eventually, I lapsed into an uneasy quiet and resolved to follow my patient. I knew not where. We wandered through the vast desert without any apparent goal. On occasion, vague shapes appeared in the distance, crumbling towers and abandoned cities, lost among the rippling dunes. The passage of time lost its meaning. I traversed that world all my life. All the world's life. Our journey was eternity. Then the man at my side, whom I'd followed so long, stopped. He spoke for the first time. We're nearing the threshold. It's the starting point, Doctor. The first place to look. I'll be waiting on the other side. Remember this. I will not be here forever. Darkness will light your way, but then you will be alone. That sounds familiar. Season 2, Episode 4, Beyond the Curtain. What could my companion have meant? A threshold. I knew of this. Strange memories returned to me of another life, before the desert was my everything. And those cryptic words, darkness will light your way, it was not the first time I'd heard them. They were from a dream, a terrible dream, when I'd begun to follow the trail of the missing patient, and taken my first steps to uncovering the secret of the world of the Veil. Oh, the secret world of the Veil. There we go. Hello. Are you human? In this place, the ancient shadows created by human reasoning tremble in sheer terror. Its name is Ilothal, the Last Curtain. Not the last door, though. The scorching light of this dead sunset bleeds through my petrified fingers. My eyes burn. I feel them melting like candle wax. Okay. These ruins, built by beings long forgotten, grant access to the last threshold. You're welcome to enter the ruins, but you will need to find your own key in order to reach the threshold. Okay. The man at the entrance said the ruins contained access to the threshold, but I see nothing. DeWitt said it's the starting point, the first place to look. Darkness will light your way. What did he mean? Okay. Looks like a poster for a theatrical show, but it has neither a title nor a date. Nothing but ruins. What was it that DeWitt said? Darkness will light your way? For some reason, my brain is drawing a parallel between the doesn't have a title or show to, you know, people who stream completely without a schedule. Like, not saying which game or games, not saying when. Just maybe you'll catch it. Just, yeah. My brain made that connection. Thanks, brain. Perhaps it will prove useful. Okay. More creatures. Well, humanoid shapes. Look to the sky. It reaches to the earth, but we'll never meet it. Can you see the magnificence of this infinite horizon? The cold, unattainable, all-embracing darkness. This is the outer limit of the threshold. Not far from here, the black waves of truth wash upon the veil that covers human eyes, and it falls apart. There is no death but rebirth. There is no void but awakening. Okay. Raise your arms, for the wind calls our name. The hour has come for us to take flight one last time. I mean, he's staying put. Is that a house? I didn't think they built houses here. Oh. This house looks familiar. The pendulum strokes are sickly slow, but they seem to keep time in this place. Door is locked. The paintings lack any form or composition. They are a uniform shade of the purest black imaginable. Looks like brown, but sure. There's something inside the birdcage. Some kind of root. It seems to have a human shape. Neat. Oh, it moved. Disturbingly human in shape. Definitely saw that move. Yep. It moved again. There's something inside that cage, a shadow, staring at me with dead eyes. Hello, shadow with dead eyes. I can see something in it. No, through it. As though I were staring into a dark void. Off in some remote distance, colourful shapes flow in seemingly impossible patterns. Okay. Jeremiah DeWitt, Edward Street, 24, Westminster, London. Correct. I should cease stalling and send it. Set the plan in motion. But what then? Lead my old friend through this dangerous journey? Yes. That's what you should do. The shadow is gone. But it left something. There's something on the cage floor. A rusty key. Okay. Cage is open and the shadow is gone. That door, I'm guessing? Yeah. It is indeed locked, so... that root needs to stop moving. It's distracting. The shadow isn't moving. It's a centipede. A sad centipede. This letter... Videtta na quis sciat. It will be enough, I think. It's time to send it. Just not sure it's the right thing to do. Well, you do it anyway. We could stop. We could leave him be. It's not too late, is it? Yes, it is. The words of my father. So much has happened because of them. Alexandre swears that this time we will succeed. That the Hoopoe will undo all our mistakes. Free us from the terrible haunting gaze. Shall we not accept the consequences of our actions? Hello, how you doing today? So many tests were needed to find it, but now that we have... so much suffering, so many deaths, for what? What have we attained so far? Apparently we have attained a crow. The shadow has vanished. A slate disc. Nothing there. black disc. It's made of something like slate. Not entirely sure what slate is, to be honest, but oh well. Guessing that's blood. The ground is soaked in blood. Black feathers are strewn about. What happened here? Maybe a raven got eaten by a cat? Yeah. Fair enough. Time zones and all that. Rocks have been piled against the wall as if to conceal something. I wonder what. Probably an entrance or something. Old gramophone, there's no disc. Can I use that? When I put the disc on the gramophone, it started spinning on its own. Wait, is that a melody coming from the house? From the house? Of course it's coming from the house. Wait, did the house grow a new door? I think it did. A lynx. I took it for a stuffed lynx at first, but I think it's actually made of wax. Oh my, I accidentally broke off a piece of its mouth. Accidentally broke off a piece of the wax lynx face. It's fine. It doesn't need a face. The hatch is locked. It's now missing half its jaw. Yep. Shadow projected on the wall. Music is getting louder here. Does that mean anything? Nope. There's a dead cat on the floor. I think it's rotting. Her eyes are missing. Okay, and it has a key. I'll just take that. Alright then. So that cat was giving off music. Pause. And nothing else here. Nope, can't go further. What would I do with that key? Or the wax? Or the rope that keeps moving? Stop that. This guy. I'm too tired to go on, to keep seeking what was promised us. But at least here I'm safe. Safe from the terrible hazard of peering through my own shadow. Okay. Path is blocked by sharp rocks. Can't make my way through. These trees are too dense to go any further. Alright. So what do I do with wax, a key, a rote, and a poster? This reminds me of something. Yes, I remember it was once fashionable to make impressions of church brasses and other inscriptions. Practice was to overlay the inscription with paper and rub it with wax. Okay. So if I see an inscription somewhere. I'm not sure what kind of key. I should probably look that up. A small golden key. That kind. So... Where's that gonna lead me? I'm not supposed to go back there. Where did I see an inscription? If anywhere. Do you use it on the clock? Nope. On the cage? Nope. Oh, on the door. Ah, the trapdoor. Right. I forgot about that one. Hatch is locked. Yes, but I have a key. There we go. You are of no worth to us anymore. There was barely any worth to begin with. It is really the best option your supposedly brilliant mind could envision. Is this, yeah, really the best option your supposedly brilliant mind could envision? Okay, next one. A few meaningless words, a pathetic attempt of your guilt-shattered conscience to remedy the situation, and then you hoped to wash the blood from your hands with a cheap exit. Look upon yourself, Anthony. See what you've become. Witness your only true legacy. Is that Mr. Beechworth? I see something through the shadow slowly taking form. Okay. There's that guy. Anna, sweetheart, how'd this happen? Too late. It's too late for us. But he can still choose. Or he still can choose. I have to warn him. Okay. Back we are. What's that? There's something on the ground near where the masked person was standing. And it is is a fragment of a broken mask. Piece of a great tragic mask. Yeah, that guy's still there. That one's still there. Can I go back to the house, or is it blocked off now? I can still go there. What if I go back up to the attic? Oh. The ladder kind of bent out of shape a bit. The ladder is broken. Yeah, as I was saying. Alright then. It's gonna keep me from doing that. Large crack in the wall, a few rays of unearthly light stream through it. Oh. There are two curious symbols engraved in the wall. With plenty of room for more. There. Paper. Yeah. Wax. So if I rub the wax on the poster... Yes, I copied the symbols onto the poster. Nothing here. Okay. Maybe there's other symbols that I'm supposed to find and then I can just combine all of them. Don't know why the other ones would be there. Any more parts of masks? Nope. See nothing but ruins. What was it he said? Darkness will light you away. Yeah, like... How am I gonna be in darkness if it's ruins? Am I just supposed to close my eyes? Because previously it was blowing out a candle, I think? Or no, close them curtains. Either way, not gonna work with there being lights coming in through, well, the walls, where the ceiling used to be. Unless I can somehow affect the day-night cycle. What do I do with that mask? Oh, is there anything left down here? No, just the cat. Something, poor thing. poor thing. I cannot honestly say that I want to know how she died. Yeah, I'm guessing that's the cat from... I think it was the first house that we went to in the first game. The one that we tried to feed with, a dying crow. I'm thinking that it's a reference to that one. But what am I missing? Definitely missing something. Yeah, so it's a 4 men. And the wax stuff. Oh. Of course, there's a path there now. Should have known. A large sea stack just off the beach. Seems to have a lonely demeanor. Pretty sure we've been here before. Yeah, I think that was the... hospital? Or, no, the old school that was turned into a hospital. Underneath the statue's hood, there's an empty hole where the face should be. I remember seeing statues like that in Professor Wright's garden. Yep. I remember that too. Good times. The shadow of a child is sitting in the corner, shaking in terror. Calm down, shadow of a child. As I'm peering through a keyhole, I can see things moving in the darkness. Beautiful. I like the style, but those themes... Does Lena approve of this kind of art? Have you not lost your old... You have not lost your old sense of humour, Alexandra. Even after what happened. Do you not recall that sight? I should erase the memory... I would erase the memory if I could. I find that painting makes it easier to bear. He's looking a bit pale. What brings you here anyway? It's been years since we have heard from you. I thought our old cause had long been forgotten. Listen, Ashto. What if I told you I found a way of crossing safely? Well, not that safely, but... Dazzling light shines in through the window. Shape of an eye is painted on the blackboard. There must have been some kind of progress. Oh, there it is. Hole in the ground. I've seen gardeners digging holes like this when they need to transplant trees. Put the root in there. And close it up. Okay. It is well covered. Planted the root in the ground. Yeah. Now what? Trees are the only reminder of life around here. It's as if They are guarding the statue. Do I just look away for a bit and then it grows? Is that it? Nope. Oh, there's a cave. Piano. It's missing a key. Okay. So now I need to find a missing piano key. Or something to use instead of one. I do feel like I'm supposed to continue doing stuff in here. Just not sure what. Oh. A colossus born of rock and craftsmanship. Relegated to the briny backwaters of this nightmare, and to the emotions of injury and despair. Briny backwater. Okay. Oh, this one isn't missing a key, it just has the one key. Can I get the one key? No. Piano key. I'll take that. Yeah. I'm supposed to use it with the other piano. Oh, yeah. 2 more curious symbols engraved on the stone. I'll just put the poster there. Rub the wax on the poster. There. Yes, I copied the symbols onto the paper. Guessing that's not gonna be the rest of the symbols. Yeah. Peering into one's own truth is forbidden. Where the snake and the bird to meet, ultimate madness would take in human form? Okay. What is this? Shapes are forming through the shadow. I cannot look away, I must see. His name is Professor Wright. Right. Yes, I've recently had occasion to meet a disciple of his. He referred to himself as a psychotherapist. I had the impression that Wright's methods more closely resemble those of my trade than those of yours. He's eccentric indeed, but I think his thesis may be proven correct. If so, we might have found a way of reaching the threshold without attracting the attention of the custodian. A shortcut, you might say. A shortcut through the veil. Problem is, the method itself. It has some unusual requirements, and we would need a man of great sensitivity who knows the peril of reaching the door. Giant drawing of an eye. Looks like Saturn and the rings surrounding it. Music sheet? Something wrong with the music sheet. It's backwards, I think. Like... yeah, it's backwards. Oh, because it's mirrored. Right. Right. That's why everything is backwards here. Oh, I guess that's what I'm supposed to play. Key fits perfectly. Melody seems simple enough. I think I can manage to play it. Dang it. My sheet music days are a while ago. Let's see. There. Found myself a cheat sheet. Let's see if that's gonna help. So... this is a C, which is this key. Okay. And then this is... melody goes fa, 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 sol, la, ti, do, do, do. Okay. So... that's a B, which is this one. And then A and G and F, 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 F. There we go. As I suspect, it is the melody that I heard at Wright's mansion. What's that? It's coming from another place. So where is it coming from? Oh, from here. Probably. terrifying shape looms where the piano once stood. It is being pulled on threads like some monstrous puppet. The threads converge on a distant point. Something is taking form there, in the darkness. It's our old classroom, but that shadow who... This is not possible. The shape's beyond the light. My fingers. No, do not come any closer. My hand, my hand. Okay. Did the shadow bite my finger and then my hand? Possibly. Something on the ground? No, where the masked person was. Fragment of a mask. Can I combine them? Piece is still missing. Well, several pieces are still missing. Oh, there's the rest of the inscription. Okay. Yes, I copied the symbols onto the poster. Ah! A tall figure stands in the woods. I might have taken it for a tree were it not breathing heavily. And didn't. If it didn't have giant glowing eyes. Inside, I can see things near the threshold getting closer and closer. Yeah, the giant eyes are kind of a giveaway. Okay. I think that's them being back at school. After what happened to Father Glynn, I think they will shut down the school. Anthony, that thing we saw, I don't know what it was. But what about your father's diary? Myths, legends, superstitions, with no basis in scientific observation. Anthony, talk to us. Alright. My father discovered several ancient myths pertaining to the Vale. They come from a variety of cultures and hence take many different forms, but they all say something similar about what resides near the threshold. An ancient being that sleeps within the fog, protecting the door from intruders. A vengeful custodian. But no matter. At any rate, my serum was a failure. We got but a glimpse of what exists out there, nothing conclusive. But what if the serum had worked? I don't know. As I said, I have no data. And those myths, what did they say? There's tales. All they say is if any intruder got too close and was discovered by what sleeps in the fog, then the custodian would be relentless. It would pursue the intruders and destroy them, wherever they might hide. There would be few ways to protect themselves from its rage. Nice. Maybe they shouldn't go past the Vale. Just an idea. Okay. Weed mark on the tree. Nope, can't do anything with it. Are those the symbols on here? Yes. They seem to be. Okay. Squiggly line. Squiggly line. Triangle with a thingy. That's not listed. So, this way? Yeah, so that's the one with the symbols engraved. Yeah, so that's the correct one. Okay. So that's the next one. That shape. No, incorrect. Nope. I mean, I guess I could try and go for this. Okay, it didn't send me back. Okay. Oh, those two are mirrored, aren't they? Because I took the notes for those in the mirror universe thing. Makes sense. These should be right side round again. So, the hangman type one and the V. No, not this one. Nope. Yep, that's the one. No, not this one. That one. Is this do it? A shadow strongly resembling my patient stands in the clearing. I can see through it, just like the other shadows. 4 men are making careful preparations. I know not for what. Probably for going through the threshold. This Captain Skid. Do it. Are you certain that he can guide us safely through the fog? His results are extraordinary, Anthony. It is the best chance we have of avoiding the gaze of the custodian. There can be no doubt the captain survived an encounter before. He even kept a companion from harm. We will finally see what lies hidden beyond the curtain. It is time. Lovely. Okay. Guess I'll go over there now. Description reads 30 birds. A huge statue of a mystical creature. A bird with the head of a wolf or a lion? Alright then. An enormous black feather. Despite its size, it's extraordinarily lightweight. I mean, you'd think it would have to be. Because otherwise it would cause issues with flying, right? What's that noise? Something out there? It's getting closer. I believe that was a bird. Is he asleep? He is now. It's been so long, I began to lose hope that he would ever awaken. Were you able to speak to him? Anthony, Dwight has forgotten everything. Everything. Good heavens. Maybe for the best. Our research is likely to take some time. If he truly has amnesia, his condition will protect him until we are ready. But should we fail, remember what happened to Hugo. Ashdown entered the Vale in full knowledge of what might happen, and we will succeed where Wright failed. We will use the serum to induce primal terror in a controlled environment. In one stroke, we shall overcome all of our obstacles. When the time comes, we must have a means of guiding our dear friend back to us. Interesting. There, he will be safe. Something on the ground. Fragment of a mask. The mouth. There. An eyeless mask. It is similar to the one that I found in Alexandra's safe house in London. Doesn't look that broken. The mask is eyeless. I cannot see a thing. Yeah, so that's going to be what I use, I think. Because darkness will guide your way. There we go. Man is standing next to the open curtain. Welcome, Dr. Wakefield. Alexandra Dupre. Yes, I've been waiting for you. We all have. I was in that pit in Elsmore when suddenly I found Dwight, but he disappeared. I journeyed through the fog and found myself here. How's that possible? Elishmore. Ah, fine. That's how you're supposed to pronounce that. Close enough. I do not know that name. Many paths in our world lead to this place, Dr. Wakefield, and I know only a few. In some of Elithal's mirrors, you see the truth leaking into our world, and in others you see yourself. I knew you would reach us at last. He was certain of it. He, the first founder of the Order, the artifacts. Do you not yet know his name? Do you mean Mr. DeWitt? Truth can be hard to accept. Yes, Jeremiah gathered us all under the same rule. See that no one knows. We knew the final truth which lay beyond the threshold. This is what the playwright was committed to finding. This was Jeremiah's obsession. The first language, which is said to grant the power of creation. After our experiment at school, we realized that the path of the Ancient Ones was watched by a fearsome guardian. We needed a way to circumvent the inexorable gaze of the bird. I found Captain Skid, who had met the bird and lived. We decided to use him in a test. It was a catastrophe. We eventually found the survivors, but the memories were incomplete. Jeremiah had fared the worst. He had been left devoid of any memories that were related to our efforts. We were desperate to find a solution. Hugo tried and failed. Then Anthony and I miraculously came across a formula that had lain forgotten for centuries. At last it was time to bring Jeremiah back into our ranks. That was nearly a disaster as well, and did not anticipate Anthony's sudden madness, or the extent of Father Ernest's decline. Mercifully, Jeremiah's life was spared. But something else was wrong. When Jeremiah reached me, he did not remember everything. He had changed. He had told me he was going to put an end to all of this. He still means to acquire the first language, but he wants to use it to ruin our work. He's already crossed the threshold. Once he learns the final truth, none of this will have ever existed. The Order, the door, or ourselves. You must stop him, Doctor. You must stop him before the curtain closes forever. Okay. Once more, I found myself enshrouded in dense fog. Gradually, the fog dissipated, revealing a busy street in London. Dizzy and exhausted, I wandered the streets until at last I returned home. I barely recognized it. I crossed the dusty threshold like an intruder. I noticed for the first time that I was holding the robe of the playwright in my hand. I kindled a fire and threw the robe into the flames. As I watched it burn, I remembered the black ocean. I had stood there on the beach, staring up at the terrifying heights of the vertiginous Mount Quaff, where the verb is said to lie. Then someone touched my arm. It was Dr. Wakefield. Our encounter on the endless dunes had not been an illusion. In his quest to find me, he had ventured into the Vale itself. He said nothing, but it was not necessary. He had come to take my place, to sacrifice himself. He stayed behind and closed the door after giving me the chance to escape. His reasons I will never know. I do not know what happened to Alexandre and to the others, but I fear that they are trapped in the Elithol for all time. I stared at the endless rain splattering against the window, and I remembered that I had something else to do. The typewriter effect is strong. A last promise to keep. Never let anyone know, whatever it translates to. We did a quest skit. That, yes. The end? I guess. Yep, that is the end of the game. So that was the last door. The last door. So, we did it. We finished this game series. The plot ended up being a bit confusing. There's two endings. Yeah, I figured that the other one is if you don't go through the curtain. I guess I could try and see if I can redo the very ending. But I'll let the credits roll first. But yeah. I did like the game. At times it gets a bit silly with like how you unlock progress. But I got through it okay. So. I mainly just got stuck with the bicycle dynamo thing. But yeah. Pretty good game overall. And a nice, more modern, spooky game. So. Yeah, exactly. A lot of them have that. So. Yeah. Yes, true. It's not as silly as some other games, definitely. I think I had more issues in previous chapters than I did with these two. So. I'm just pointing out that, like, it's not, like, a completely smooth experience, but, like, it's a more modern point and click, so. Makes it a lot more reliable, and it tends not to have soft locks and stuff like that. At least non-intentional ones. So, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Some of them are definitely a bit silly, but got through it. I recognize that sound. That's the crow, tapping the glass of the window. Things are happening. Why does the end screen have this much sound? The end of the end? Okay. There. Thanks for playing. Extras, I guess? Mask with no eyes, achievements. What's that? The inner circle is gathered once again. whole cycle has passed since the last playwright traveled to the land. And shadows and fog. Now the mask with no eyes has chosen a new bearer. The path between worlds will be visited once again, and the veil upon human eyes shall be lifted forever. The playwright meets now the custodian of the threshold. Okay. An ancient being guards the door of mist. The particle effect is, well, doesn't really fit with the rest of the pixel art. Stand by its watch or something? Four wisps of fog shall reveal the truth. The boreal embers brighten the dark sky. Yeah, I think this fire particle effect is not very fitting. Distracting me. The austral flame shines within the dark forest. Last one. Okay. The pyre of Zephyrus glows in the dark ocean. Playwright will stand in the center. Okay, I'll stand in the center. The curtain will be drawn at last. And then its eyes were open. Okay. Whatever that was. But yeah, let's try and see if I can get the other ending. Nope. Does not seem possible. I guess I'd have to go through the entire game again. Or at least the entire episode again. Yeah, if I continue... Yeah, it's just this screen. I don't think I want to replay it all. I mean, we could try, I guess. What do you guys think? Do we really want to see the other ending? Because... I mean... I feel like this is the proper ending. Like, him actually going through with saving the guy. You okay with not seeing it? Yeah, I think I am too. Like, obviously if you're curious, you could probably look it up on YouTube. So... yeah, I think I'll leave it there. Because replaying the entire thing just to see the other ending just seems a bit silly. So... that's gonna be that. Let's see who we're going to raid. Yeah. Or I guess you could also just play the entire thing for yourself. If you feel so inclined. Who are we going to raid? Let's see. Actually, since it's still fairly early, I totally muted my microphone, didn't I? Anyway, sorry about that. We'll go and raid Kim, who's playing Silent Hill. Shame on me for muting my microphone. So, that's that. Good time for me to stop streaming when I'm, yeah, doing all the pro streaming strats of muting my microphone. Anyway, I also accidentally muted my microphone yesterday, so that's 2 days in a row. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow with Roller Coaster Tycoon. So, like, from now on, we'll be back to the usual schedule of before October. So, yeah, we'll be trying to finish XCOM and Ultima 5 and Roller Coaster Tycoon. So, anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye!